Hello and welcome once again to Irie Stomach. Thank you so much for joining me. And today is the last installment of our series on eating well to combat diabetes. I'm so glad you guys were able to join me, and I hope that the series have been helpful for you. You've learned some things, you've tried the recipes, and you like them, or you might not like them, but you can create your own with the proper foods that we talk about. I would love for you to share your comments, good, bad, or indifferent. It all helps us in the end. So today we're not going to cook. We're going to talk about the foods that we should make sure that we incorporate in our diets on a daily basis, especially for those of us who are living with diabetes. And also to remember that we need to have some form of exercise on a daily basis to help with combating diabetes, especially those of us who work and sit at a desk all day. If you go to iriestomach.com, I have an article on simple exercise that you can do at your desk to just keep your body in motion and stretching and keeping yourself limber. And I'm also going to present today a short clip on plant-based diet and diabetes, and it's presented by Dr. Greger, who has written a very, very, very fantastic book called How Not to Die, and it was the #1 bestsellers on the New York Times bestsellers for a very long time, and it's something that I think is important to invest in. It's a really good book, it's a really good guide, and I will show you a small clip on his take on diabetes and the plant-based diet. As well, I will also introduce to you some of the foods that I mentioned earlier that you should incorporate in your diet and along with exercise. So thank you once again for watching. Thank you for supporting me, and I hope that I am helping you and I'm giving you good advice that will give you a better quality of life, because that's my only aim, is to help others to live well and eat well. So without further ado, I'm going to present to you Dr. Greger's short clip on how to eat well and plant-based diet and diabetes. Thank you so much for watching once again.
I've talked about the role meat may play in increasing the risk of diabetes and the potential protective role of healthy plant foods. But plant-based diets not only appear to guard against getting diabetes in the first place, they may successfully treat the disease better than diabetic diets patients are typically placed on, controlling weight and cholesterol. Diets based on whole plant foods can result in significant weight loss without any limits on portion size or calorie counting, because plant foods tend to be so calorically dilute. Here's 100 calories of broccoli, tomato, and strawberries. Compare that to 100 calories of chicken, cheese, or fish. People just can't seem to eat enough to compensate for the calorie deficit, so lose weight eating whole plant foods. And most importantly, it works better. Plant-based diet beat out the conventional American Diabetes Association diet in a head-to-head randomized controlled clinical trial without restricting portions, no calorie or carb counting. A review of all such studies found that individuals following plant-based diets experience improved reductions in blood sugars, body weight, and cardiovascular risk compared with those following diets that included animal products. And cardiovascular risk is what kills diabetics the most. I'm more likely to get strokes, more likely heart failure. In fact, diabetes has been proposed as a coronary heart disease risk equivalent, meaning diabetic patients without a history of coronary disease have an equivalent risk to those non-diabetic individuals with confirmed heart disease. A newer study used a technique to actually measure insulin sensitivity. It improved on both diets in the first 3 months, but then the veg diet pulled ahead. And look at their LDL cholesterol. That's what we see when people are put on a plant-based diet. Cholesterol comes down so much, it can actually reverse the atherosclerosis progression, reverse the progression of heart disease. We know about the beneficial effect of vegetarian diets on controlling weight, blood sugars, cholesterol, insulin sensitivity, and oxidative stress compared to conventional diabetic diets. But what about quality of life, mood? How did people feel after making such a dramatic change in their diets? In this randomized controlled trial, study subjects were assigned either to a plant-based diet group or a control group. Vegetables, grains, beans, fruits, and nuts, with animal products limited to a maximum of 1 daily portion of low-fat yogurt. And the control group got the official diabetes diet. Quality of life improved on both diets in the first few months, but within 6 months, the plant-based group clearly pulled ahead. Same thing with depression scores. Dropped in both groups in the first 3 months, but started to rebound in the control group. Bottom line, the more plant-based diet led to a greater improvement in quality of life and mood. Patients consuming a vegetarian diet also felt less constrained than those consuming the conventional diet. People actually felt the conventional diabetic diet was more restrictive than the plant-based diet. Disinhibition decreased with the vegetarian diet, meaning those eating vegetarian were less likely to binge, and the veg group folks tended to feel less hungry, all of which helps with sustainability in the long term, which is, of course, critical for changing diet. So not only do plant-based diets appear to work better, but they may be easier to stick to. And with the improvement in mood, patients may exhibit desired improvements not only in physical, but also in mental health.
Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.